Hey guys, welcome back to Judo Highlights. The Grand Prix in Upper Austria is underway. We'll have a look at the highlights from day 1. And hear about this fabulous Sasai from Baratov. Now last week I did criticize the lightweights a little bit for not pulling out the big techniques, but this time around they definitely turned up. I've got a really long video. I'm trying to cut it down. I'll put some of it in the top Ippons video because these guys, it was great. So we'll start with Fukuda. And we all know Fukuda is a newaza master, but he came out, first time he touched his opponents, threw them for ippon. And this is his first contest here. I think this was a 9-second ippon. All sotogaishi, countering the all sotogari beautifully. And then I was like, wow, he's not going to do the same thing in his second contest, is he? And well, he did, came out against Charon from Cuba. And then he gets another beautiful technique in the tachiwaza, this time a standing seoinage. So Fukuda, I mean, he's working on his stand-up. He's definitely got the newaza. He's got very good pinning skills, which you're going to see here. But you can definitely see he is just getting really good in the stand-up. He was actually at our dojo not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago. And he just destroyed everyone. Really sharp ashiwaza. A lot of ashibarais, kochi, kosoto. Incredibly fast. When you see it in the flesh, he's just incredibly fast. Now, this is him against Yang in the semi-final. And this entry here didn't get the throw, but it really set up the entry into the newaza. Yang tried to escape, but Fukuda, I mean, once he grabs a hold of you in the newaza, it's very hard to escape. And this pin that he's been doing to everyone, no one's figured out how to escape it yet. A lot of people try to break the hand at the top, which you can see Yang doing here. Can't get it. Tries to pass the knee with the hand. Doesn't work. Legs are stronger than hands. And people are just stuck here. So you can see Yang also trying to push on the ankles with his ankles. I think that's the best way, but Fukuda does such a good job at just avoiding that. Amazing stuff. Now just a quick little technical session about space. See, Fukuda takes a real tight grip on the sleeve, and because it's so tight, Yang can't retreat as much as he'd like to. So you'll see Yang go backwards, but because of the tension, he's forced to come forwards. And then Fukuda just waits for that moment when he comes forward again to go in for the throw. You'll actually see Maruyama do this, so kind of wonder if he's taught Fukuda a little bit. Now the final, it was an all-Japan final, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Adachi and Fukuda are both at Tenni University and are both in their first year. So these guys know each other. I know they've fought several times. And what's interesting is Adachi definitely engages in the newaza against Fukuda. And I remember someone at our dojo was talking to Fukuda and was saying, he's not amazing on the ground. He's good at pinning people. But you know, newaza is so deep. There's so many things. Fighting from the ground, submissions, chokes and whatnot. He's just very good at doing what he wants to do on the ground. So here you can see he gets in a little bit of danger. And then the timer goes on, and then Fukuda decides to move. So I think he might have been thinking, maybe this is not osaikomi, but as soon as that clock went on, he definitely moved. Now, this is a good match. I recommend going to JUDOTV and watching the full thing, full of lots of good high-level highlights. But it did come down to Shidos, and it was just Fukuda putting in a little bit more work. I would have liked to see this one go longer, just because I said it last week. It's good when the middle contests end with some sort of a score. And I mean, if you just let this run, I'm pretty sure something would happen. So you can see here, Adachi, 2 Shidos, and you can tell Fukuda working on his tachiwaza, just putting in lots of different attacks. And it's a good thing that he went to Tenni, because Tenni, they don't do a lot of newaza, so he's only going to get stronger in the tachiwaza, just because of the amount of randori that they're doing over at Tenni. So here's a few highlights from Adachi. Took a silver, of course, that's a pretty good result. Nice kosoto here, straight into the juji. But I will say his techniques weren't as strong as Fukuda's. Fukuda's, I mean, just throwing people for ippon, really strong in the position. So I think that's what's going to set him apart at the moment. He's definitely looking really strong at under 60, but I mean, Adachi still doing well. Hopefully we see more of him on the international scene. Now Yang, he did make it to the bronze medal contest but got thrown here for Ippon. And then I think he recognized that it wasn't Ippon because he did go limp in the Newaza. And next up, Augusto from Brazil. Here's a few highlights from him, but he went through to the other bronze medal contest. He had some good judo throughout the day as well. This here is a nice tomoe-nage attempt. And then this Kochi for Ippon. And then in the bronze medal contest as well, against Sharon. Another score with that Kochi. So great stuff from Augusto, and he's not the only Brazilian that had a good day. So we'll move on and talk about under 66, Fukuchi against Lima. Now Fukuchi, you're going to see him kind of latch on to that arm, kind of like Lipitiliani loved to do back in the day. And Lima counters it. So that's a really nice way to counter that turnover. And it's not the best reverse Kesagatame here, but he does hold on to it for enough to get a Wazari. So Lima, someone I'm not too familiar with. I know there is another Lima at 66, but this is definitely not him. Someone tell me in the comments if Lima is a common Brazilian name and they're just unrelated, or maybe they are related and from the same family. But anyway, Lima, Kataguruma here, and you can see him jumping on the Newaza already. So Brazil, they definitely have a good team. They always churn out good judoka, and this is great for Lima to take a gold medal like this. Took out not one but two of the Japanese. We saw him take out Fukuchi in the final, and then in the semi-final he was up against Kentoku. And he showed us some skills in the Tachiwaza as well, throwing Kentoku twice for Wazari. So here's the first one. And then this one here, bit of Stemi Waza, the edge of the mat. Kentoku coming forward, obviously trying to chase that Wazari. Now just before we have a look at the bronze medals, two nice throws from Fukuchi. Here's a really sticky Kochigari. And this Taotoshi, probably one of the best throws of the day. Have a look at that. I love it when people kind of get the knee on top, really securing it. So Kentoku in the bronze medal contest ended up getting 3 scores.
Oh, nice, that's it. It's all
the
over,
one,
is it?
nice little Kochigari for Yuko.
Find the way in here. It's just the way it's building up.
Kochi.
Oh, Kochigari.
That one was a Wazari.
That might be his downfall.
And this final score here, another Kochi for another Yuko. And then after this was interesting. Fukuchi was doing this. I've seen a lot of people looking for this turnover these days. This one here. And I'm not sure exactly why. It's got nothing to do with the new rules, I think. I mean, we are allowed to grab below the belt in the Tachiwaza, but we're not allowed to grab the leg. So here's Fukuchi. He's going for the exact same turnover. Grabbing the leg, which is fine because it was in the Newaza. So I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys let me know in the comments. Why do you think a lot of people are going for this turnover? Maybe it could just be these two guys. There was another one. I can't quite find it right now, but there was a good counter to this. They ended up in an Ippon. I'll put that in the top Ippons video when I find it. And now Fukuchi here, he does get a submission on the arm. Bit of a bad camera angle, but as I said, a lot of people going for this turnover right now, which is quite interesting. Now last thing from Kentoku, a beautiful Osotogari here. And then the other bronze medal went to Gutman, countering Nozadzi here. Sorry for going all over the place, guys, in this long video, but we'll move on now to the women's categories. So we'll start with under 57, and Bauhaus really dominated her category. Here's the Shimewaza in the final, taking out Tomp. Also in the bronze medal contests, and this was pretty impressive from Esteves. Now I would bet money on it and say that this is the first person from Guinea, G-U-I, it is Guinea. The first person from Guinea to beat a Japanese judoka, and you can see she's pretty ecstatic about it. Now at under 52, we had Krasniki versus Oi. And Oi, she is world champion at cadets and the juniors. And here she is throwing Krasniki, who is an Olympic champion, with Uchimata for Ippon. So definitely Oi, a rising star, someone to keep an eye out for. I'm not sure if maybe she's going to be in university from April, but she could still be a high school student. I'm not too sure. Amazing stuff, nonetheless. Now, I couldn't get the other bronze medal match for under 52, so sorry about that. But we'll move on to the last category, under 48. And this is Yoshino versus Abuz Hakinova. Now, Yoshino, she competed at the Worlds for the juniors, and she took a silver medal there. And then also taking a silver medal here, which is a bit unfortunate. I'd like to see her get gold at some point. She is from my dojo. I've done judo with her many times before. And I do have to say, I mean, she's still growing. She's in her first year at university. Hopefully she'll kind of get a little bit more height, put a little bit more weight on. She is incredibly fast. Good kumikata as well. But I think she might just get bullied around a little bit. Definitely likes to utilize her speed to win contests, and she will drain your stamina, that's for sure. And then lastly, the 2 bronze medal contests from under 48. So, hope you like this video, guys. Thumbs up on it, please, and I hope you're subscribed to the channel. Check out the Judo Wiki if that interests you at all. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Might be underneath the neck, yes, it is underneath the neck. If she can get the leverage here, she can't get out. I'm telling you, she'll have to submit, have to tap, and she does. Come. Well, that's it. And I see it. The top table there said no. Oh, she's got it. She's stolen it. Yep. And